Hey guys, welcome to A2D, Agree to Disagree. We're continuing on with our free agency news. Today, Mitchell Trubisky, one of the big free agency quarterbacks, to sign elsewhere. And, he actually signed in Pittsburgh, which is actually kind of surprising to me. He's going to be Big Ben's replacement. And he signed a 2-year, $14.5 million with incentives up to 27, which, we talked about Mitch a little bit last week. And I think this is perfect for both sides. It's a perfect opportunity for Mitch, right? And the Steelers are getting a guy who started in the NFL before. He's thrown 6 touchdowns against Tampa Bay. That's the Mitch I remember. So they're about to get a stud, man. They're about to, they're riding. But no, hey, he was a first round pick. What, 2014, 2015, somewhere around there.
Third overall, bro.
Yeah, I mean he's got some talent. Obviously, I think the Bears jumped a little bit too high to grab him. Overall. But
yeah, so remember that when I said it.
But anyway, he's in Pittsburgh now. They have weapons there. They have defense. Mike Tomlin. They're ready to rock. So, what do you guys think?
I liked it, man. I liked it too. I knew they were going to go the free agent route. I knew everyone wanted to pair Jimmy with the Steelers. I knew they weren't going to invest draft capital. I knew they were going to pay that price tag, period. Even if his shoulder's healthy, they weren't going to do that. The Steelers, I hope they went Jameis because I'm always going to be a Jameis believer. And honestly, I think he has more upside than Trubisky. But they want the safe thing, right? And the safe thing, Mitch Trubisky, his mobility, I think, plays a factor. And he's been in the playoffs. He's won some games. He's actually his win-loss, dude, is 34-23 as a starter with 64%, which is a little higher than your boy Kirk, who just got all that money. So this dude, he's won a little bit. He's been on some good teams. He can manage some games, and that's what the Steelers are. They're a good team. They just want to win. Unfortunately, it's going to suck for them because in the AFC, you got all those other elite quarterbacks. So once the playoffs come around, even if you get there, are you going to really beat a Justin Herbert with this guy? Is he going to be able to go toe-to-toe with these guys? What about a Mahomes or a Joe Burrow in the same division? Lamar Jackson, if he gets healthy. So he's going to have to – sometimes he's going to have to put up a lot of points, and that's when they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But they only invested, to your point, 2 years, 14. That's $7 million. At worst, you're paying for a potential starting quarterback. That's a steal. That's Teddy Bridgewater, what he got with Denver last year as a comparison. And he could be more than that. The incentives go up, but worst case, I mean, we'll see how the draft shakes out. They could end up drafting a guy because that's not real starter money. So the options are still kind of open for them. Obviously, they closed the door on Deshaun. That's a wrap. But I don't think they're going to I think drafting a guy and pairing him with Trubisky is a realistic thing if you're a Steeler fan. So I could see that happening. It might not be round 1. I think getting Trubisky kind of took them out of needing to draft a quarterback in round 1. So now they can maybe go round 2. There's a quarterback out of Cincinnati. I forget his name, like Ritter or something like that. Big, tall guy. He might be around in round 2, and you might be able to get a guy there and let them battle it out in camp and see how that goes because you never know, man. Russell Wilson got drafted in the 3rd round, and he ended up being Russell Wilson. So they could draft a guy 2nd and 3rd round, and he just steals the show. But Trubisky is a safe pick, especially the way they did the contract. The Steelers, that's good for them. That's a smart move for them for sure to do that as opposed to going the Jimmy G route. That's for sure.
Yeah, I actually project in my mind that Mitchell Trubisky is going to play well. I don't think everything's going to go well with him. The AFC North is a tough division, but I do see his potential being somewhat what I would describe as a flashy game manager, right? Like he's still a game manager, but he can do shit with his legs, and I mean he can make some cool plays. All the ingredients, guys, is there in Steelers, is there in Pittsburgh for a guy like Mitchell Trubisky to succeed. it almost becomes a situation where, they gave him a $5.5 million raise. They're giving you Mike Tomlin, bro. Here, go win us games. And he should do it. I don't know if it's Super Bowl run, but I don't know how well Trubisky's going to play. I do think he's a very
Get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think playoffs, it's one of those moves where you just want to stay relevant, right? He's a cheaper, healthier gamble from that point of view. But I don't think it changes. If they have quarterback as their top guy, they fall in love with one of these guys. They're sitting in a position where I still think Kenny Pickett is an option there for him, and it makes a ton of sense. And like you noted, $7 million is a bargain for a quarterback.
Yeah, you just stole the words right out of my mouth. I thought Kenny Pickett was going to be a good fit there anyway.
He can be there.
Yeah, the Steelers, let's be real. The Steelers are going to base this offense around Najee Harris anyway, and he's going to be who they want to focus on. This kid is an absolute stud. But you have weapons right there, right? So you have what's his name?
Deontay
Johnson. And then you have
Chase Claypool.
Yeah, Chase Claypool. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Juju. But Juju looks like he's gonna move on.
That dude's a baller.
Yeah, and Pat Freiermuth, you're right. So he's gonna have weapons. He doesn't need, you couldn't get any worse than how Ben played last year for most of the year, right? So it's probably gonna be an upgrade for that offense. You get younger, you get more mobile.
That's actually a very good point. Very good point.
The kid actually has an arm, so going to be able to get the ball down the field. I don't see Deontay Johnson having a better year than he did last year. I don't really see Chase Claypool really
similar.
Yeah, maybe similar. I can't.
Hey, Trubisky knew how to find Allen Robinson. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. So I don't think that it's going to really boost those guys' fantasy numbers. I do think it boosts Najee though. I do think Najee's going to get 20, 25 touches. And
he was going up regardless, though.
Ben
year two back.
Yeah. So this guy, he's a stud. So I really like that move for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh fans, you should be happy about it. If you're not, and you're hoping that they go out and they get a Malik Willis or a Kenny Pickett, I understand. This isn't the deepest quarterback draft, so getting a veteran quarterback who just sat behind Josh Allen, maybe learn a couple things from him, and sat with Brian Dable, who's a damn good offensive coordinator, seeing what Mike Tomlin can do with the kid, I would be excited, especially for $7.5 million a year. I'd be excited.
Yeah, if you're not excited, if you're not happy, the least you can be as a Steelers fan is optimistic.
Yeah.
To Mike's point, he can be what Big Ben was last year.
Oh yeah, he could be better than that. He could be better than that.
He can be even better than that. So it's just it's tough because especially with Russell Wilson coming over, the AFC is fucking loaded, man. So we'll see how it all shakes out and if they can earn a playoff spot. But all four of those teams in the AFC West, and then if Lamar's back, the Bengals. What if Deshaun goes to Cleveland? AFC could be fucking crazy loaded. So
the AFC North might be the AFC West Part 2.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this might not be enough, but it's a good insurance policy. It was a good signing. They had to get that out the way. Yeah, smart.
So Pittsburgh fans, be happy about that, and you guys are gonna probably be better than you were last year. That defense will respond. So it was the exact right move. I think we're all in agreement. So Steeler Nation,
Trubisky.
Hey Steeler Nation, get ready.